200,000 years ago. No language, no cities, no dating apps. Just a small group of people, maybe 30, maybe 50, gathered around a fire as the African savanna goes dark. And someone looks at someone else. Did they feel what you feel? The pull, the warmth, the need to be near someone? Or was it something colder, more mechanical, more animal? The answer will change the way you think about love, about yourself, about where this all came from. Let's start with what we actually know. 200,000 years ago, anatomically modern humans appeared in Africa. Same brain architecture, same neural wiring, same basic emotional hardware you're running right now. That matters, because if the hardware is the same, the feelings were too. The problem is, no one left notes, no journals, no cave paintings of first dates. All we have are bones, stones, and the very careful conclusions of scientists who spent decades piecing it together. And what they found, it's not what you'd expect. Because when most people imagine prehistoric love, they picture something brutal. The stronger male taking whoever he wanted, raw, simple, animal. That's not just an oversimplification. That's almost exactly wrong. Let's start with the biology. Because the body knew about love long before the mind could think about it. When two early humans were drawn to each other 200,000 years ago, the same thing was happening in their brains that happens in yours when you see someone you're attracted to. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, vasopressin, same molecules, same neural circuitry. The word love didn't exist, but the experience did. Neuroscientist Helen Fisher spent years scanning the brains of people in love using MRI. What she found was striking. The regions that activate during romantic attraction aren't emotion centers. They're reward centers. The same ones that respond to food and water. Which means, from your brain's perspective, love isn't a feeling. It's a need, like hunger. And that need was wired into us 200,000 years ago. Maybe longer. So if it's just biology, if it's just hormones, why didn't our ancestors behave like most mammals? Mate with whoever was available and move on? Something made them stay, and that something changes everything. In 2004, archaeologists working a cave in South Africa, Blombos Cave, found something unusual. Tiny snail shells, with holes through them. Deliberate, careful holes. 75,000 years old. These were jewelry. The oldest known personal ornaments in human history. Jewelry is a signal. It says, look at me. I'm different. I'm worth noticing. That's flirting. 75,000 years ago, in a cave, with shells. They sang. In those same caves, archaeologists found bone flutes, 40 to 60,000 years old, the oldest musical instruments ever discovered. They danced. They gave gifts. Rare stones, animal teeth, objects that traveled far from where they were made. Do you see what's happening? They did everything you do. Dressed up, showed off their talents, gave something meaningful, tried to be remembered. Different form, exact same logic. Now, here's the part that surprised researchers most. For a long time, scientists assumed prehistoric humans were promiscuous, that stable pairs simply didn't exist, that everyone mated with everyone. But ancient DNA says something completely different. Harvard anthropologists analyzed the genetics of ancient populations and found a striking pattern. Roughly 200 to 300,000 years ago, our DNA begins to show consistent evidence of pair bonding. Most children were born to the same two parents, over an extended period. This was the norm, not the exception. Why? The evolutionary answer is clean. Our babies are born completely helpless and stay that way for years. That's unique among mammals. Raising that child alone, in the wild, was nearly impossible. You needed another adult. Present, reliable, there. In other words, love, or at least stable attachment, wasn't a luxury. It was an evolutionary requirement. Without it, our species doesn't survive. Love is the reason you're here at all. Here's where it gets truly strange. We're living in 2025. We have apps, algorithms, compatibility tests, an infinite scroll of potential partners in our pockets. And yet, loneliness in developed countries has hit an all-time high. More than half of American adults report chronic loneliness. It's been declared a public health epidemic. Our ancient ancestor with shells around their neck and a bone flute had 1,000 times fewer options, literally a few dozen people in the tribe. No Tinder. But they had something we are catastrophically missing right now. Constancy, proximity, life lived side by side every single day, shared survival. Neuroscientists have confirmed this. The brain doesn't build deep attachment through grand gestures once a month. It builds attachment through small, repeated moments. Shared meals, sleeping nearby, touch, presence. Our ancestors had all of that in abundance. We have almost none of it. Closeness is a practice, not an event. And here's the strangest part. Those two people by the fire, 200,000 years ago, no words, no restaurant, no matching zodiac signs. They were building something closer to genuine attachment than most of us manage today. Because they had no choice but to be present. There was only the other person. There. Every day. Maybe love didn't get more complicated. Maybe we just got worse at being there. So, 200,000 years ago, our ancestors wore ornaments to get noticed, played music, gave gifts, stayed together, not because it was convenient, but because without it, survival was impossible. Their brains worked exactly like yours. Their bodies felt exactly what you feel. The only real difference? They couldn't retreat into a phone. And maybe that's why they stayed. If this video changed how you think about love, relationships, or what it means to be human, subscribe. Every week we ask questions you've never thought about that turn out to be about you. Next, how did ancient humans deal with death? One artifact found 100,000 years ago made scientists rethink the entire history of human consciousness. See you there.